Hey guys, Buffin Gaming back here bringing you another video, and today I want to just bring you some raw gameplay. I'm going to do a little bit of commentary here and then probably just leave you with the gameplay in the background from the weekend 1 of the beta as we approach weekend 2 tomorrow with the crossplay between Xbox and PC as well as PS4. So for week 1 of the beta, I got some good hands-on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but definitely need more time before I think anybody can really give any sort of review. I see a lot of channels giving reviews, but I think the bottom line is you need way more time hands-on just in 4 days to give full reviews of the beta. And I think this weekend's going to be a good test to that. Just be another 4 days for everybody to get their hands on and play with the different mechanics in the game, because this game is definitely a very deep game, especially with the gun bench and the different attachments, which I definitely need more hands-on with, because my AK-47 I had pretty decked out and I liked it, but I did notice, you know, the sprint out time, the ADS, every different attachment you put on the weapon will affect how your player moves in game and just the response time to be able to aim ADS, etc. So really quick here, we'll get into some quick notes and then I'll leave you with the gameplay. My takeaways from week 1 is somewhat to the alpha is the audio. It was really hard for me to hear enemy footsteps as well as distinguish them from teammates. So I know with the 2v2 alpha, that was one thing I said on my review there, was that the footsteps were hard to hear, but I noticed it specifically Thursday and Friday, I believe, of the beta here for PS4, was those first 2 days, it was extremely hard to even hear friendly footsteps, and there'd be times where, especially in the cave map there, Azure Caves, where I would hear footsteps around me and couldn't tell specifically which direction it was coming from. So the directional audio is a big issue for me, because I would at times be literally turning around in circles trying to figure out where the footsteps were coming from. And then, you know, this was before they put the minimap back on, so I couldn't tell if it was friendly or not. So I'm just basically spinning around in circles trying to pick a direction as to where these footsteps are coming from, and then to have an enemy come from a direction I'm not anticipating because the directional audio wasn't clear enough for me, and then I get killed. So that was something that was a little bit frustrating for me, but I think Saturday and Sunday I did notice I was able to hear better. Still not perfect to where I would like it to be. Definitely the complaints I hear of not being able to distinguish enemy footsteps from team member footsteps is something that was real, and it did get to me. But when they did add the minimap back in the game, it did help with that, because you can at least look and see if there's a friendly near you versus having to either take the risk as to whether or not it's an enemy or not, or turn around and verify or not. So that was one thing. I like to see the directional audio boosted, and I think hopefully that's something they can do this weekend. It does seem like they made a change for the open part of the beta on PS4 this previous weekend, so I'm thinking we'll see some changes with audio this coming weekend as well. Next up will be the M4A1 and the time to kill. I think the time to kill in the game itself is great, and I don't want to see that changed, but the M4A1 time to kill I think was a little bit high, but again, it's hard to tell in the beta because I know there was server issues and a lot of people were having the same complaints. They were getting lag and it just seemed like they were getting one-shotted when they're putting 3 or 4 bullets into somebody not getting the kills, and that definitely happened to me the first few days. I think Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday I noticed was a lot better, but still the issue persisted, and I did notice, especially with the M4A1, the time to kill. So I think Ecolai Espresso on his channel did a quick mention of this. Basically, for the time to kill for the M4 is if someone went in and did it, and time to kill for that is if you're shooting headshots straight with the M4, you can kill 3 people with the time to kill with that M4 before you can even react. If you're getting shot in the head with the M4 from range, you'll die 3 times before you can even react. So it's like 3 point something milliseconds is what that comes down to. And somebody did those numbers, so I like to see that change, because I did notice every time I was in a gunfight and lost 1v1 to a fair gunfight, it happened to be an M4A1, and there was plenty of times when I got shots on the other player first with the slower firing AK-47, but it should hit harder, but I was still just getting beat by the M4A1 every single time. And then I didn't notice that to really be a problem with anything else in the game. You know, M13s was pretty stable, the MP5 was pretty stable. I think that was the most powerful SMG in the game, but I did notice just AK-47, whenever I came up against a M4, I would get melted even when I had shots on target first, and then also from range, like I said, that headshot bonus for the M4, very little recoil it seemed like, so I'm not sure if it was the time to kill for the weapon itself or just some server issues those first 2 days. It could have just been happenstance that I happened to get killed by an M4 every single time, so I don't know what the answer to that is. I want to see how it is this second weekend of the beta. I know I did level out my AK, my M13, and my M4 in weekend 1 of the beta, and I did notice that when I picked up the M4, things were a lot easier for me. So I don't know if they did some changes with the servers and the lagging issues were just resolved more, or if it really is that good of a gun. So gonna get some more hands-on with that weapon this weekend as well for the cross-platform beta. Next up is a level cap, and I know this weekend it's rumored that the level cap will be bumped up to 30. So for the open beta for PS4, the closed and open beta for PS4, they did restrict the level cap initially at 10 for the first 2 days, and then Saturday when the beta opened up on PS4 for all players, they bumped the level up to 20. So you were allowed to get some more kills kill streaks as well as some different weapons that were unlocked there. And now with this cross-platform beta coming up, it's rumored that they're going to bump it up again another 10 to 30. And if that does happen, you'll be able to unlock some additional weapons such as the Odin, which I'm really been dying to get my hands on, as well as you'll be able to unlock more kill streaks. I believe the Juggernaut is a level 30 unlock right now at this point for the beta. So hopefully by Saturday or Sunday when they bump that level cap up, we'll all be able to get our hands on the Juggernaut. And you know, when they did bump up the level cap to 20, I did get my hands on the Precision Airstrike as well as the Pavelo or the Support Helo, and those kill streaks are really fun too. I think the Precision Airstrike is probably one of my favorites just because if you can mark that on a domination flag or a headquarters where there's a lot of people, you're definitely going to get a lot of kills. You know, it's two A10s that come in and hit them with the Gatling gun and then fire off some missiles as well, so it definitely does a lot of damage there. That's one of my favorite kill streaks. I think the Chopper Gunner is really good too, but again, that's a base unlock, so I'm looking forward to seeing what that level cap bump is and then getting my hands on some of those unlocks. Like I said, specifically the Odin, I've been dying to get my hands on, so that's another weapon I think I'm going to level out this coming weekend. Another thing to keep in mind is that with weapon unlocks and leveling up your weapon itself, at least for this first weekend of the beta, that was capped off at level 30, so you were able to unlock a decent amount of attachments all around for your weapon and play with them, but you were capped off at level 30 for your weapon upgrading at least, and you're able to see what those unlocks are coming up. So there's some things with the AK-47 that I am hoping I'll be able to unlock this coming weekend, but I'm not sure if they're going to bump up that level cap for the weapons themselves. But as far as player level caps, they should be bumping that up to 30 some point this weekend when the beta opens up for everybody. Next up, like I said, would be more time with the game, and just having an extra 4 days here is the point of a beta, is to have hands-on with the game and collect feedback. So weekend 1, I have my initial thoughts, and you know, we really all just need more time in the game to give the correct feedback and allow the developers to take those changes and do that final bit of development that last month they have before release after this beta wraps up. So like I said, definitely gonna get some more hands-on this weekend with the game. And the one mode I'm really looking forward to is the 32v32 ground war mode. So that's gonna be basically a 5-flag domination ground war, 64 players. So any of you Battlefield players out there, this is gonna be for you. I know I started in Battlefield, but I've been playing both back and forth. I've discussed this in other videos. I'm more into the modern-ish military shooter. So, you know, Battlefield's been going astray the past couple years, and Modern Warfare definitely captivated me and brought me back into the franchise. Modern Warfare, again, they're doing what Battlefield isn't doing or hasn't been doing at least since 2013, since the release of Battlefield 4. Battlefield's kind of gone astray in my opinion, and this mode itself, the Call of Duty's Ground War 64-player 5-flag domination, is exactly what the Battlefield fans have been looking for. And there are vehicles, obviously, with the kill streaks for the infantry fighting vehicle, which is that Bradley tank. That is going to be something that's going to be unlocked if they do bump the level cap up to level 30. So there's going to be that. It's been confirmed that there's ATVs as well as little birds that players can pilot and will spawn on each person's map. Another thing for the ground war mode is that you will be able to spawn on teammates exactly like Battlefield. So people in your squad on the map, you will be able to spawn on them. And that was definitely something I noticed just in the regular domination or headquarters. Not able to spawn on my squad mate was something I felt needed to be there. To be plenty of times when I would die and I see my squad mate off, you know, capping a flag or getting into contact, and I want to be able to spawn on him and help him and push towards the objective, and you can't do that. You end up spawning back in the default spawn and having to push up across the map to them. So hopefully that's something that'll be enabled across all modes, but if it's just the ground war mode, that's fine too. I want to see how that works in that mode specifically. Then the next item would be the mini-map, but I know the first 2 days of the beta for PS4, they did not have the mini-map turned on at all. So again, that was how they initially designed it, was you get the mini-map when you get some sort of UAV on the team, which to me was okay. Again, this is something that I definitely need, and I think everybody needs more hands-on. So I'm hoping Thursday and Friday this week for the cross-platform beta, they keep it off so the Xbox and PC players can see what it's like with the mini-map off. And then same as they did with weekend 1 of the beta is for Saturday and Sunday to turn that mini-map back on. But it's a mini-map with a twist, so it's not going to show you red dots on the map unless you have a UAV. So if you have a weapon that's unsuppressed and firing, you're still not going to show up on that mini-map. So that's a good thing. I think that's a good compromise. But again, need more hands-on with the different variants of the minimap that they're going to do, and I'm sure they're going to be making changes throughout the weekend to see what works and what doesn't work, which is the purpose of the beta. So I'm excited to see what changes they're going to make specifically to the minimap going forward, because again, I'm indecisive. I like it off, but again, I see the need for it on at some points. My opinion is I just don't want red dots showing up 24/7, because I don't want people just chasing red dots. I think, you know, that's been Call of Duty in the past, and that's fine, but this is a different game. I think that's a compromise that we can all make. But again, more hands-on this weekend, and we'll see how everybody else thinks on the other consoles as well for PC and Xbox. Next up is game modes, and I know for game modes so far, I think 2v2 might be my favorite mode. I know they opened that up for Sunday for the PS4 beta again, and I know I played with my buddy Moonman, who I'll have some of those gameplays coming out next, this weekend and next week maybe. That's one of my favorite modes. I think it's fun, it's competitive, and I don't know what it is. I'm more confident in that mode, and I'm able to run and gun more so like I usually do play FPS games, whereas in the TDMs with dominations and headquarters, I'm a little bit more, I have to be more conservative, I think, just because I'm not 100% used to how the game plays yet and how the class setups are. I know in 2v2, I'm very confident in gunfights, I can rush, and it's a good competitive mode to get in, first to 6, so I like that mode a lot, and I want to get some more hands-on with that mode this weekend as well. I think that's a fun mode, and that should be a good one for tournaments. I know we've heard that you're going to be able to create Sweet 16 brackets with communities, etc., and have tournaments, so I think that's going to be a good one right on launch, where we're going to see a lot of 2v2 player tournaments going on as well. But hey guys, that's all the information I had for this video. I know if you have any questions regarding weapons that have been confirmed, I know there were some more confirmations of weapons when the beta released. They just had all the weapons that are currently in the game build in there, so even though we can't unlock them in the beta, they're there for us to view, like the Scar H and the FAL. So check out some of my other videos for that, as well as operators. We have some new operators and backstories. So I did do a recent video of all the confirmed operators so far and their backstories, as well as have some additional operators that we have some leaked images of through the Call of Duty visual guide that's going to be coming out right after release, I believe in November as well. So be sure to check out those videos, and if you guys like the content, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Buckner Gaming out.
Returning to resupply. HQ lost.
All right.
Damn, I didn't get my other airstrike.
Ready will come.
You did pretty good.
Couple of good.